Live. Karoline
Good
Leavitt
afternoon, everyone.
unleashes fury at the
We're
White
packed
House
house
press
here today, and I
conference.
have a very special guest with us, the Vice President of the United States. He'll deliver some remarks and take some questions. First, I just want to share remarks of my own. Democrats in Congress have officially shut down the United States government. House Republicans passed a nonpartisan, clean piece of legislation to extend current government funding until November 21st. But nearly every single Democrat senator voted against this bill. To be clear, this was the exact same bill that Democrats approved 6 short months ago in March, just adjusted for inflation. This is the same kind of clean funding bill that Democrats passed 13 separate times when they held the majority during Joe Biden's administration. So the American people woke up this morning and asked the obvious question: why is the government shut down right now? The answer is pure partisan politics being played by the Democrat Party. The Democrats shut down the government because President Trump and the Republicans will not force American taxpayers to pay for free health care for illegal aliens. America is $37 trillion in debt. We cannot afford to provide taxpayer-funded free health care to illegals who broke the law
Wow.
to enter our country. To put this all into perspective, the Democrats refused to keep the government open over health care to illegal aliens and now have jeopardized critical health care programs for American citizens instead. The Women, Infants, and Children program, community health center funding, Medicare treatment options, and other health programs are now all at risk because of the Democrats rejecting the clean CR. The most vulnerable in our country are being punished.
They do so much to obviously hurt us. I don't know what else is going to take for y'all people to wake up and to see. Yeah, when y'all was talking about Trump, it was all about big business and protecting these big companies and all of this other stuff. And you know, it was so much. You find out that these Democrats love the government to be and shit. I mean, come on, man. I'm going to show y'all what a government shutdown actually means, because y'all might know bits and pieces, but let me show you what happens to the people on the ground.
Because the Democrats want to prioritize illegals over American citizens.
Like my son, who's a Marine.
And if Democrats actually cared about health care, they would applaud the actions taken by President Trump just yesterday in the Oval Office. He took a bold and massively popular action to improve our healthcare system. He announced the first agreement with the major pharmaceutical company, Pfizer, to lower drug costs for Americans. This is a historical achievement long sought by past Democrat presidents that only President Trump was able to get done. Also yesterday, while the Democrats were whining about health care for illegal aliens, President Trump signed a powerful executive order to supercharge American AI innovation and unlock cures for pediatric cancer patients in the United States. While President Trump took action to lower drug prices and improve the lives and the care of American children with cancer, again, Democrats are fighting to give healthcare benefits to illegal aliens. The Trump administration is fully committed to lowering healthcare costs and advancing policies that will save American lives. But right now, we need to keep the government open and funded. And individuals and organizations across the political spectrum, across the country, agree with the Trump administration and Republicans. The labor union leader, the Teamsters, Sean O'Brien, sent a very blunt message to Democrats over their destructive antics. He said American workers are not bargaining chips. Senators need to stop screwing around and pass the House-passed clean short-term funding.
Violating, man.
The U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the world's largest business organization, called to immediately.
They hate this man so much that let me stop for 1 second just to show y'all what a government shutdown, what it actually means and stuff like that. Because up until then, it's just words to us, right? But check how it affects the country. Let me pull something up. Here you go, right here. Right. This was just released 1 day ago. Check this out. What the government shutdown could mean.
To fund the federal government. So it goes without saying that Congress, with the help of the White House right now, is not doing its job, since they are now barreling toward a shutdown if they can't agree on a spending deal by midnight tonight. This would be the first shutdown since December of 2018. That one lasted 35 days, making it the longest government shutdown in more than 4 decades. We can talk about the politics of all of this for hours. It's clearly all politics. But Let's break down what a shutdown tangibly means for, well, you and millions of Americans. First off, hundreds of thousands of federal workers do now face the threat of mass layoffs by the Trump administration. We haven't seen that during any recent shutdowns. Members of the military would be forced to work without pay over the duration of a shutdown, and not to mention the hundreds.
No, these Democrats is against us, man. I'm convinced, man. I think they have fucking meetings to say, you know, anything that can tear this country up, let's go with that. You know?
Of thousands of employees who will likely be furloughed from the federal government and not paid until this thing is over. Major government programs will be impacted. The FDA is warning food inspections and drug manufacturing sites, they will close. They also warn that the safety of the food that your family gets, the way they're putting it is, quote, would be significantly impacted. And then you have the U.S. Travel Association. It is warning of flight delays, longer security lines, and canceled trips because of potential staffing shortages, as if airports.
Hold up, we're just hearing about this, but they know what this is going to, they know how we're going to be affected before they start activating things like this. And the question is, how many of y'all told them that y'all want this to happen?
Of employees who will likely be furloughed from the federal government and not paid until this thing is over. Major government programs will be impacted.
5 weeks. Some of y'all won't work for nobody for 5 hours without getting paid. Now imagine when the government shut down. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Last time it lasted for 5 weeks. That's a miracle. Most people ain't going to, you know, it's going to. Oh, man. You talking about some crucial parts of American infrastructure just slowed down.
FDA is warning food inspections and drug manufacturing sites, they will close. They also warn that the safety of the food that your family gets, the way they're putting it is, quote, would be significantly impacted. And then you have the U.S. Travel Association. It is warning of flight delays, longer security lines.
That's a fact, Balls. That I hate to say your name without pause. Pause, Balls Deep. But yeah, it's not the first nor the last time.
And canceled trips.
We the ones that pay all the time, I'll tell you that.
Because of potential staffing shortages, as if airports.
Hey, yo, y'all think these rich fucking politicians, but you know what I mean? They don't be affected by none of this. You know what I mean? Inflation goes up. Give us more money, man. We ain't gonna touch by that. Do you get what I'm coming from? So what the prices went up? We getting paid more.
Didn't have enough issues on their hands already. National parks and museums, they may also close. The Park Service lost 400,000.
Oh, hey, what's up? How many more? You know what I'm saying? DMW, salute. Simba, salute. Actual Factual, Blizzard Man, my motherfucking brother. Joanna Azar, salute. Right? Do you think these politicians care about you on either side? Hell no. Because this affects us.
$1,000 per day during the most recent shutdown. Something to remember here. The longer a shutdown goes on,
another Snapple fact is that a lot of these people that get out of government, out of big government, get into big business. You want to know why? Come on, man. They old favors, bro. You think they get this? Like going to Vegas and shit for the first time, and somebody gives you like a perk pack. You know what a perk pack is? Yeah, they give you a book, like, you know, like coupons or something, you know, letting you know everywhere where you could get perks at. You understand where I'm coming from? So when you get there, you know, like, it's like giving somebody samples of, you know what?
Or that more critical programs and benefits start to run out, like SNAP benefits, which is known, often known as food stamps, or WIC, the Supplemental Nutrition Program for women, infants, and children. They will start running out of remaining.
Let's not get it twisted. You know, the left is pushing this news too. The left is pushing this news because whenever you see fear mongering, okay, look, they make the move, right, to cause this to happen, and then they have the news tell you about it. You don't know about anything else. You don't know nothing about nothing when it's time for decision making. But they'll tell you what the consequences of the decisions that were made. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, who going to yell about this? Black people's going to yell about this, man. Even though there's more white people on food stamps, black people is taking this to the bank. Oh my God, Project 2025. Well, if it's the Democrats pushing this shit, who wrote
funding and
who wrote the book?
Be unable to provide food for children and parents in need. Yes, the outlook is bleak when this thing drags on, but not everything shuts down. Essential services, they're kind of considered. The IRS.
Let's see what essential services are, ladies and gentlemen. double tap the screen on the way in the doubt.
Will stay open thanks to funding that Democrats
Now, we ain't scared, DM.
pushed in the Inflation Reduction Act in 2022.
Oh, let me reset this show. I need y'all to wake the fuck up.
Visas and passports, those will continue to be issued. Most Justice Department staff would stay on the job. Social Security checks, which is always a big question, they will still go out. FEMA response, NOAA forecasters, they will remain on the job. Veterans care and veterans services.
Of course, FEMA will be.
They will also
You don't do shit.
continue. Yes. That was a lot to unpack and could all be solved simply by Congress doing its job. But the biggest point here is the more prolonged a shutdown is, the more uncertain the funding becomes for services that reach.
Wait. Let me break this down in my turn. Okay. What will continue to operate? Social Security and Medicare payments. Unemployment will still rock. Okay, that's good. That's considering you had a job. State Department issues passports and visas. Nobody, ain't nothing moving. National Weather Service forecasts and warnings. Are you kidding me? So tornado, I'm cool. DHS, ICE, Customs, and Border Protection, TSA. This is a direct strike. This is all Trump's people. Hey, yo, these people are devious.
Farther and wider.
I mean, they will really turn this whole country upside down. I mean, they will leverage a building. They'll turn a building on the side. You know what I mean? Just to fucking, speaking of buildings on their side. No freaky. Double tap the screen. Let's get the lights up, right? Real quick. A building, 20-story building, falls apart in the Bronx. Just a little while ago. I think it happened. This says an hour ago. So I'm assuming a couple of hours ago. And God, like I don't know what part y'all don't understand about get the fuck out of New York. You know what I'm saying? Look at this.
Now at noon, terrifying moments in the Bronx. Part of a night shift building collapsing into a pile of rubble. We are live on the scene right now. Welcome to the noon.
The whole side of the building is gone. Look.
Bianca Peters, officials say it was an incinerator shaft on the corner of the high-rise building that came crashing down, bringing part of the facade with it. This video showing the moments when that shaft came crashing down in the Mott
20 flights up, y'all.
Haven section of the Bronx. Onlookers from nearby buildings watching in horror as this all went down. We do have team coverage of the collapse first at noon.
Look at it.
The Department of Buildings, if there was current ongoing work being done on the boiler that sits directly below the point.
Look at this shit.
Point of collapse.
New York. 20 stories from a building because the boiler had an explosion or something, a gas. And then what's so fucking up about this shit is that they actually got Red Cross set up. And they're talking about the plan is to reconstruct this building and put those people back in that fucking building. Bruh, if this building, let me show y'all something. Let me give you a clear depiction of what's going on here. We try to get a close up. Right? Look at this shit.
YPD, they're all observing this, looking at the scene right now. Building partially collapsed. Now, also here, just arriving on the scene, Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson is here.
When the room is gone.
Other high-ranking members of the NYPD, they're all observing.
Possibility 20 stories that nobody being inside the building.
Observing this, looking at the scene.
And my Haven projects, I will be, okay, let's say there's 20 apartments on each floor, 20 floors, 20 times 20. There's 400 fucking apartments in here. In the projects, they hold at least 3-4 people in the apartments. 3 times 400. There's like at least 1,000 people in this fucking building at any given time. But let's just say everybody has a job, right? It still leaves other people in there. Nobody died in this, man.
Right now, we can also let you know that officials told us.
God is good. Look at this. Look at the rubble. Anybody that been in my Haven, Webster projects, Washington projects, know that this right here is a miracle. Nobody is dead. That's crazy. This is crazy. And somebody caught it collapsing. That's crazy right here. Look. Can't believe it, man. The whole top of the what? Yo. What's the possibility? Anyway, let's get back to Karoline Leavitt. You know what I'm saying? And these government shutdowns. Salute to everybody in the chat. I'm about to shout you out. I'm trying to get this shit kick started. So yeah, that she's explaining how the Democrats are really, making this happen. It's not just about blaming them for something. It's just the reality of what's going on. Like you will shut all parts of this about government down just to make a fucking silly ass point. And that silly point being that why should we pay for illegal migrants' healthcare when you're not even paying for fucking Americans? I don't understand how people come to this country from another country, do all type of crime and shit. You know what I mean? Get free band-aids and all that. And have us paying top dollar. I mean, come on, man. There's people that's making I money, but they can't get no food stamps. They can't get no government assistance. Nah, they can't. But then you have a dude that come over here and commit all type of wild crimes. Yo, when your uncles and your cousins and you out there committing wild type of crimes, are they giving you a fucking break? Come on.
That's certainly what the president of the United States wants. Let me make one final point. I think a lot of Americans are asking themselves, why did this happen? Why did the Democrats shut down the government despite, as Karoline said, voting on the exact same piece of legislation 6 months ago? And there are a lot of different spins that we can put on it, a lot of different answers that we could give, all of them true. One answer I already gave is that they want to give health care benefits to illegal aliens. That is true. They gave us legislative text that would have undone us cutting off healthcare benefits for illegal aliens. That's one of the things that they asked for. But the reality here, and let's be honest about the politics, is that Chuck Schumer is terrified she's going to get a primary challenge from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The reason why the American people's government is shut down is because Chuck Schumer is listening to the far left radicals in his own party because he's terrified of a primary challenge. So I'd invite Chuck Schumer to join the moderate Democrats and 52 Senate Republicans, do the right thing, open up the people's government, and then let's fix healthcare policy for the American people. Questions?
Mr. Vice President.
That's a lot. Matt Boyle.
This is probably the best vice president we've had in a real long time, man.
Mr. Vice President, there's two key Democrat lies I would like to get.
Hey, stamps is the welcome retreat for a motherfucker that got a job. Somebody got a job, they making, if you're making anything a little bit past minimum wage, you will not get no stamps. I don't give a fuck how much tax you pay. I don't care. When you get there, they are not your nigga.
Nigga chicken, nigga. Nigga means love. I love everyone. Gang. Who are these niggas?
That's what they don't know you. They don't know you, man. They throw you right in the fire.
On and see if you can address. The first is that you're seeing a number of top Democrat leaders, from Kamala Harris and Chuck Schumer to Hakeem Jeffries, claim that it is a Republican.
Average working American, that will be a dream come true. You know how much motherfucking money? You know how much money you spending in the supermarket, man? You're spending a lot of money in the supermarket. I remember you go up in the supermarket with a nice buck, and you good. You coming out with 8 bags. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're, like for real. Dead ass. Now it's a little bit different.
Shut down caused by Trump. The second is that they're out there now claiming that they don't want to give health care to illegal aliens. Can you address both of those lies from the Democrat Party?
Yeah, so on the point that it's a Republican shutdown, look, it's obviously a Democratic shutdown. Just look at the vote totals in the House, look at the vote totals in the Senate, and look at the President of the United States' own action and conduct throughout this crisis. Nearly every single House Republican voted to open the government, Matt. Nearly every single Senate Republican voted to open the government last night, and even to their
how could it be the Republican shutdown if we all voting to keep the government open?
credit, a few moderate Democrats voted to open the government. That's not a Republican shutdown when nearly every single Senate Democrat votes to shut it down and every Republican voted to open it up. It's just obviously not true. Now, you can disagree about a number of things, but you can't disagree about the obvious fact that Republicans voted to open the government.
Which they will disagree and they will disregard.
Government.
Obvious truth.
The president stands ready to sign that opening of the government. We just need a few more Democrats to join us in that effort.
Double tap the screen and to get double tap the screen.
To open the government. Your final question about illegal alien benefits. Look, the text is very clear. And I even saw, I think it was George Stephanopoulos in an interview with Mike Johnson, did a fact check that was totally rooted.
JD, a bad motherfucker.
in baseless claims. It was basically Democrat propaganda. If you look at the legislative text that they gave us, they tried to.
This is live, ladies and gentlemen.
Provisions that would give health care benefits to illegal aliens. Number one, if you're an American citizen, you've been to a hospital in the last few years, you probably noticed that wait times are especially large.
Blake, David, slow.
Who's there in the emergency room waiting is an illegal alien, very often a person who can't even speak English. Why do those people get healthcare benefits at hospitals paid for by American citizens? The answer is a decision made by the Biden administration that the Trump administration, working with congressional Republicans, undid. We turned off.
If you're new here, scan that QR code that takes you to my other channel. Subscribe.
Off that money spigot to healthcare funding for illegal aliens. The Democrats, in their legislative text, want to turn it back on. That's one thing. The second thing, Matt, is we all know that there are various ways in which the Biden administration waved away illegal immigration status. They gave parolees, they gave asylum claims to people who weren't really claiming asylum. And when they waved the magic wand of amnesty, giving millions of people legal status, even though they were in the country illegally, they also gave those people access to health care benefits. So what the Democrats are engaging in is a sleight of hand. They're saying, no.
Double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes to 100, y'all. Go ahead, hit the like button or go to the top right, hit the 3 dots.
Those weren't illegal aliens who were getting health care benefits, even though everybody, knows they were in the country illegally.
Nigga chicken, nigga.
Told by the Democrats that they're not trying to give health care benefits to illegal aliens. It's a lie that is obviously untrue if you just look at the text that they gave us. And all you have to do is understand that this is about who benefits. We think the American people's government ought to benefit American citizens. The Democrats are willing to shut it down to benefit illegal aliens. The contrast couldn't be more clear. Peter.
Thank you, Vice President Vance. The big holdup is, of course, that you guys say illegal immigrants are getting taxpayer-funded health care. Democrats say you're lying. That makes it feel like it could be a really long shutdown. Is this going to be a long shutdown?
I don't know. I can't predict what congressional Democrats are going to do, Peter, but I actually don't think it's going to be that long of a shutdown. This is a pure guess from the Vice President of the United States, because I think you already saw some evidence that moderate Democrats are cracking a little bit. They understand the fundamental illogic of this. Look, for years, every single one of us, we can remember Barack Obama on the White House lawn. We can remember Chuck Schumer. We can remember Nancy Pelosi for years. In Chuck Schumer's case, for literally decades, we've heard them say, you don't shut the government down over policy disagreement. Okay, Republicans think this thing about healthcare, that thing about healthcare. Democrats think this thing about immigration. Republicans disagree. Whatever those disagreements are, you don't shut down the government over it. For the first time since the Democrats have been in politics, they're now saying that unless we get every policy item that we demand, we're going to shut down the people's government. They're trying to take a hostage, and we're not going to let them.
And the administration announced today that $18 billion bound for New York transportation projects is going to be frozen, so it can't go to DEI programs there. But the timing of this, does announcing that today mean that you guys are going to squeeze Chuck Schumer's home state until he blinks?
Look, I talked to Russ about this morning, but look, I'm sure that Russ is heartbroken about the fact that he's unable to.
The language he chose to use, he said, y'all going to squeeze it.
To give certain things to certain constituencies.
These bastards always moving the goalposts. Listen closely.
We want to do everything that we can to help the American people. But when the Democrats shut down the government, we have to actually do a little triage to make sure the most critical and most essential services are provided. The government does a lot of things. Of course, Republicans think that the federal government probably does too much, but there are a lot of critical things the federal government does that absolutely all of us would agree need to do. Our troops need to get paid. Our air traffic controllers need to make sure that people are flying safely and on time. We need low-income people to be able to access the food services that are provided by the federal government. There are critical things that need to be saved. We're going to do everything that we can over the coming weeks, if the shutdown lasts that long, to ensure that people get the essential services that they need.
Okay, by a show of hands, right? How many weeks do y'all think that this shutdown is going to last? I think it's going to last 2 months. And if it does, oh, baby, this country about to see some smoke.
Despite the fact that
that's just me. I say 8 weeks. What about y'all? Get in the chat.
Chuck Schumer has shut down the federal government. It's not going to be perfect because we are in a government shutdown. We are going to have to lay some people off if the shutdown continues. We don't like that. We don't necessarily want to do it, but we're going to do what we have to keep the American people's essential services continuing to run.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
Good game.
President.
Good
Thank
guess,
you for
Blake.
being here. Yesterday, President Trump said, as a result of the shutdown, we'll be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected. And the Democrats, they are going to be Democrats. Has the administration asked agencies to target federal workers who they believe to be Democrats in these reductions of forces?
Man, that part of government doesn't have anything to do with whether you're a Democrat or Republican. You know what I'm saying? If you work for Homeland Security, you're in jeopardy.
We're not targeting federal agencies based on politics. We're targeting the people's government so that as much as possible of the essential services can continue to function. That is the question the president has asked the entire government, is fundamentally, okay, we're in a shutdown. That causes some problems. The troops aren't getting paid. There's nothing that we can do about that while the government is shut down. But there are essential services that we want to make sure as much as possible, they still continue to function. That is the principle that's driving us forward during the shutdown. It's going to continue to be the principle that drives us forward. But let's be honest. If this thing drags on for another few days or, God forbid, another few weeks, we are going to have to lay people off. We're going to have to save money in some places so the essential services don't get turned off in other places. That is the reality of the government shutdown that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats have foisted upon the administration.
So what did you mean by they're going to be Democrats? He said they're going to be Democrats.
You've laid out a lot of the pain and problems that would come with a Democratic shutdown, and yet in the Oval Office yesterday, the president said that a lot of good could come from a shutdown. So square that circle. Which is a Democratic caused crisis or a Republican opportunity for reform?
Well, I think all the president is saying, Phil, is that he wants to make sure the American people's government functions as well as it can, despite the fact that we're in a shutdown. We're going to have to make things work.
They love trying to hold him accountable for something that president, or try to throw a trick question at him, but he be prepared for all that shit, man. Monique, what's good, baby girl?
That means that we're going to have to triage some certain things. That means certain people are going to have to get laid off. And we're going to try to make sure that the American people suffer as little as possible from the shutdown. That's what the president is saying, is that, yes, this is a bad thing. Obviously, the president is trying to reopen the government, but we're going to make things.
You control all of Congress. Quit crying and do your job. Feeling Steve, man, time out, man. You going on time out, man. Don't come over here hating on Trump, clown. If you're on that Trump train, type ones in the chat and double tap the screen so we get the likes up. Don't be the next one I get.
Work as well as we possibly can, given the constraints that we have.
And then on those policy differences for the discussion and the negotiations to come later, during the Biden administration, Democrats twice voted to expand these Affordable Care Act tax credits, but those were
vote to shut it down, then blame the guys voting to keep it open. F is we talking about that part. This reminds me of this is a bad relationship. This is like a relationship with a person that's cheating on you. You know what I mean? And they come in the house while you home all day. You're cheating on me. Something ain't right. The milk ain't clean. They vote to shut the government down, but then blame it on the guys voting to keep it open. F is we talking about.
Supposed to be temporary, and they were slated to expire at the end of the year.
We definitely talk about mental illness here. Sandero said release the list. The Epstein list. Blake C says 2 to 3 weeks will give time for Democrats to act like they did something, then cave in. As
you sort of crack the door open to negotiation.
Monique said 1.
At a later date, would the party that ran on defunding Obamacare really negotiate about potentially expanding Obamacare?
Well, Phil,
man, Trump care would have been better.
We've said to the Democrats is that we're willing to have a conversation about how to ensure that Americans continue to have access.
It never existed. It never existed. Well, it wasn't a proposal. I looked at the side by side, the Trump care versus the so-called Obamacare, man. It looked like the Trump care was doing more for the American people, but that's just me.
To healthcare, and frankly,
it never existed, like I said.
should have access to better health care at a lower cost. We inherited a mess of a healthcare
Like Project 2025 didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? But the Platinum Plan did.
system from the Biden administration. It's why the president has worked so hard on the most favored nation status for prescription drugs. It's why we care so much about lowering the cost of prescriptions and why we're doing everything else. We're willing to have that conversation, but I think it's important to bracket the healthcare policy conversation because it's separate from the government shutdown. We think that we can open the government and then have the conversation about what best healthcare policy to fit the needs of the American people. That's all we're trying to do. That's all we're trying to accomplish. We've got to reopen the government first. Now, Karoline, I don't know how you do this, how you actually choose people, because I don't know 90% of the names in here. Is it just who's the best dressed? Okay, I really like your shirt. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. You are president of the Senate. Can you talk about what you're doing, what the administration is doing to try to get other Senate Democrats to vote to open the government?
Yeah, we're talking to a number of our colleagues, Democratic and Republican in the Senate. I talked to a number of them last night. The president, of course, is talking to them as well. I think there really are two categories of demands that I've seen privately from congressional Democrats. I think on the one hand, those who are negotiating in good faith are saying, look, we just want to make sure that we're able to have a conversation with the administration about some of the critical needs that we see that need to get fixed over the next few months. We recognize it's kind of absurd, and a lot of them will admit in private that it's kind of absurd to shut down the people's government over these disagreements, but just agree to negotiate with us in good faith on these issues. And of course, we're having that conversation with them. Then there's another category, people who say, give us everything we want or we're going to keep the government shut down. We just write those people off because they're not negotiating in good faith. And frankly, we don't need it. We've already got 3 more Democrats last night than I thought we would get. And I think it's because they recognize the illogic of the position of taking the entire American economy hostage because they don't get their policy priorities. So 3 moderate Democrats joined 52 Republicans last night. We need 5 more in order to reopen the government. And that's really where we're going to focus, is how to get those 5 additional Democrats.
Thanks, Mr. Vice President. First, 2 questions. Are there plans to meet Democratic leaders again in the coming days, or are you planning on plucking off senators one by one?
So that's the whole question?
No, I got a second.
Okay, go ahead.
That's disrespectful.
So the president's been posting some images of Leader Jeffries and Senator Schumer.
I saw.
Recently.
That's disrespectful.
You said that you're interested in good faith negotiations with these leaders, but what message does that send?
I don't know how he be so patient with these motherfuckers, man.
Just post pictures of Leader Jeffries in a sombrero if you're trying to have good faith talks with him.
Oh, I think it's funny. The president's joking.
Oh, Prince in the motherfucking building. Salute, man.
And we're having a good time. You can negotiate in good faith.
Performing on the biggest stage.
It's Project 2028. Hell yeah. Let's go there. Project 2028. Double tap the screen on the wait in the door. My boy Sean Prince from Jersey's in the building doing the Lord's work. You know what I'm saying? All right. Who else out here? Democrats wants to put funds to health care for kids and elderly Obamacare.
Make this solemn promise.
Treachery. Let's get to Karoline.
Seats and looking over the budget of the entire.
You know what? I want to go roast on okay, so they did this roast on Kamala Harris, who's looking like a whole pocketbook out here, right? Yeah, appears to be pocketbook lookish. It is what it is. Salute to Kamala Harris, but allegedly she's not looking good out here. And here's like some old roast of her, man. I just wanted to get into this because I think it's just hilarious. I think it's time for a laugh. You know what I'm saying? Double tap the screen on the way to the dope. You at the Mac Mean Show. Yeah, I just finished showing the Sean Prince. I just looked at the news, like live news, just a little while ago, right before you got here, probably. That's just how she sound. And then what's so crazy? When white boys started mimicking her and sounding just like her, they started getting mad. They wanted to what they call that? They wanted to cancel these people. This is funny as shit. He sounds just like Kamala. Yeah. Luther, bro, Alex, a song. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his last name. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to homie. He caught this. This is the funniest one I seen. He was out here voting for this chick. He was out here like really. They was trying to make this chick the president, y'all. Middle class. No. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having a whole show by myself. Oh my God, this shit is stupid funny. I'm sorry. I thought I was sharing it with y'all, man. Oh my God. All right, double tap screen. On the way in the door, man. This shit is funny as shit, bro. Look.
She's from Oakland. We cannot be unburdened by what has been when we can be unburdened by what could be. Okay. Kamala, what's your favorite color? I was born in a middle-class family.
I grew up a middle-class kid.
And in a middle-class family, you are not in the upper class or the lower class.
I grew up a middle-class kid.
You were in the middle of the class, you see.
I was raised as a middle-class kid.
Kamala, what do you like to eat for dinner? A middle-class family. Do you understand what I'm saying? Middle class.
And I come from the middle class.
Not the top.
You tell me she sound exactly like this.
And not the bottom.
From middle class.
Right there in the middle. That's where we is.
Absolutely hilarious. Today we're checking out comedians roasting Kamala Harris. Let's go.
She's better. No, let me tell you, Kamala, she does different accents, depending on where she is, down south. Let me tell you something. You boys better
once you get around black people.
Get it together here and vote. Save democracy. Black community, she's like, shit, let me tell you something, honey. Let me tell you right now, we ain't vote for Trump. I even saw her at a 7-Eleven going like, listen, it's very important that we vote for the Democrats. We're trying to save democracy here. We're trying to save democracy. For sure, you don't understand. You need to vote. You need to vote.
Ooh, Kamala. She's trying, but she's struggling. And she really did help him win because she checked every box. This chick was black, Asian, Indian, Jamaican, white. She was everything. Yeah, she was. She checked every damn box. She married a Jewish man. I said, damn, Tiger Woods said he carved an Asian. This bitch is Clevelandian.
That was good.
We have got to the point where literally.
Yeah, we gonna roast Kamala up a little bit. She went on matter of fact, she's on a book tour right now, right? Embarrassing the fuck out of herself. I'm gonna show you something about that in a second.
Kamala Harris was endorsed by Taylor Swift, Eminem, Jennifer Lopez, Barack Obama, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the entire cast of the Avengers. And they still could not convince enough people to vote for her. This just goes to show that influencer marketing is bullshit. It's bullshit, okay? You should give your money to comedians. Have us perform at a rally and we will win you
Or Beyonce.
The election.
And Megan Thee Stallion.
What do you do for work?
Hi, I'm Kamala Harris.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm in the campaign trail 2024.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there a message you want to send?
I just want to say what you do is so important. Young people like you are the future
Hello, JD.
of our country. You're so dripped down. I love it. It's very important that you guys show up, okay? Because we are in this beautiful park, and this park signifies where America can be diversity-wise if you young people like you show up and vote.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Shout out to Kamala though. You know, Kamala's funny. I do think it's funny. You know, they're all like how she's not even black. When was she black? That was my favorite question ever. No disrespect, and this is not racist, but when was she black? God damn it, it's just so funny. And then she started to get black as out of nowhere. Like every time you sat her down on a late night show, she started to turn Jamaican than a motherfucker. It was, you're right there, rude boy. Hey, listen, Steven, we've got to get this America king. I was like, yo.
I ain't done with her ass. Hold up a second. Rita got at her too. Lefties losing it. Let's go. Delusional broad here.
It is the closest presidential race in the 21st century in terms of the outcome.
Wow. Yeah.
The closest. Yeah.
Wholesale lies. Wholesale lies. Rita, get her ass.
But did Rachel Maddow correct that obvious lie? Well, of course.
Hold up. Let me see. Okay, here we go. All right, check it from this.
Lie often enough, and they really, really want it to be true, then it is. We've heard them repeat the same dangerous.
I know what you're talking about, Rita. Like when saying that it's a Republican shutdown when it clearly is the Democrats is the ones that supported that.
Lies about Donald Trump for years, from the Russian collusion hoax to the Fine People hoax. Now there is another lie being put forward by failed Vice President and failed presidential candidate Kamala Harris. She keeps saying this despite it being verifiably false.
And it ended up being the closest presidential election in the 21st century.
The closest presidential election in the 21st century, an out lie, Kamala. She lost by a huge margin. She not only lost the electoral college by a huge margin, she lost every swing state. She also lost the popular vote. Trump was the first Republican to win the popular vote in 20 years. But did Rachel Maddow correct that obvious lie? Well, of course not. And Kamala was off to The View to repeat that same lie.
It is the closest presidential race in the 21st century in terms of the outcome.
Wow. Yeah.
The closest.
Yes, the idiot View crowd are going to clap along like trained seals to anything, but there were 6 highly paid View co-hosts on the desk with Kamala. Not one of them corrected that outrageous lie. And emboldened by her bold-faced lies being accepted as gospel, Kamala repeated that line at her old college. Here she is at Howard University.
Closest election for President of the United States in the 21st century.
Wow, I know that's real. The Howard grad did that here.
And a Howard grad.
Why is it that Kamala looks like she arrived straight from happy hour to that event? No academics there, no students corrected that lie. So let's get a hot take on Kamala from her successor, JD Vance.
Because the more people know about Kamala Harris, the more they realize there's no substance there. I mean, agree or disagree with Barack Obama or Bill Clinton, they actually had substance. They could actually articulate a viewpoint. I listened to Kamala Harris for 90 seconds, and I actually feel like I've gotten dumber in the process, and I have no idea
what she actually believes.
Now to the deplorable Ilhan Omar, who was doubling down on her abuse against Charlie Kirk. Last week, she had plenty to say, including this on CNN.
That should be in the dustbin of history, and we should hopefully move on and forget the hate that he spewed every single day.
Asked to apologise for those comments and
Hateful.
other similarly unhinged and ugly commentary. This is what the anti-American Democrat Congresswoman had to say. This time, she's with the awful Don Lemon.
I have nothing to apologize for. It is a tragedy that Charlie Kirk was killed in that way. I feel for his widow
In that way.
and his children. They will have to live with that for the rest of their lives. But there is no legacy to honor. It was a legacy filled with bigotry, hatred, and white supremacy.
Well,
And as a Black woman and as a Muslim in this country, I refuse these crazy people.
Black woman. We getting Arab money. We getting Arab money. I love that song. You know what I mean? I like this song too. They got good voices. You know what I'm talking about?
People can do whatever they want to do, but I am not going to be bullied into complacency, into
In you, you're giving a really hate-filled opinion, sister. No disrespect.
dishonor.
And honestly, Muslims don't. You're a Muslim woman. Muslim women. You know what I mean? Like, let me just shut up.
Honoring who I am and what I stand for.
Come on. You know what I'm saying? Muslim women, I mean, there's a certain way you dress, you know what I'm saying? To honor yourself. And wearing hijab is not damn, I'm looking at another chick that's talking about she Muslim. Hold up, look at this one. She says she living out her van, yo. This is freedom right here, man. Check this out, y'all. Yeah, this is freedom. This is America. So basically, she's scheming because she wants to sleep in this parking lot overnight. You know what I'm saying? Her van is decked out in the back. Watch this.
It's a mama and her son.
Very interesting.
I don't really think they're gonna say nothing, but you never know.
And what I mean by interesting, I'm just saying the way she's sitting. You smell what the Rocky's cooking? What is she really selling here?
I'm just gonna keep an eye out for a little bit.
I like her. She's selling game, ladies and gentlemen. She's showing y'all how to save money.
CVS pharmacy right here, and then
Have you ever wanted to see your home from space? With this free satellite?
Wait for it. I got a surprise. Oh, man.
there's a buggy across the street. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's very busy at the moment, actually. Okay, so I'm about to.
Don't save her, because she don't want to be saved. Don't save her, because she don't want to be saved. Don't save her. Don't tap the screen. Let's get the likes up. Jason Vandross in the building. I was just speaking about you, with my good brother, King Trollcito.
Yes, she's not going to be bullied into decency or honest.
OnlyFans is crazy, bro. OnlyFans is crazy. Y'all can't hear me? Testicles, 1, 2. Testicles, 1, 2. Can you hear me? My channel's been getting slammed. 3 of my lives. I was able to go live on my other channel earlier, but my channel's been getting slammed one by one. They don't believe us, but really, it's really happening. The age restrictions, the flags, and the strikes. You can hear me? Okay, yeah, we can hear you. Thank you, Sean Prince. Thank you, Lane. Thank you, Blake. Actual factual salute. And thank you, Pat, for letting me know.
She's going to remain a race-baiting radical doing harm to the country that gave her sanctuary. Let's bring in Sky News contributor Kosha Gator. Kosha, Elon
Hey, look, you know what? Let's get into this thing with Candace Owens, because Candace is saying that it was all a setup. You know what I'm saying? Somebody betrayed Charlie Kirk and stuff like that. I didn't get a chance to look at it yet. You know what I'm saying? But excuse me, matter of fact, I don't even want, this is not the one I'm looking at that I want y'all to see. Excuse me. It's the one where she said that they are lying. I think she did this last night. Yep. It's at 3 million views, man. She must have been going the fuck off. Let's see what Candace talking about. This is a real reaction. All right, double tap the screen. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna jump kick the channel back into action. I've been getting hit up. Content, what they call that shit? Community guidelines. Somebody reported my channel, said that I was flashing a firearm. And you know what's so crazy? People don't believe me. Why the fuck don't they believe me when I tell them that? Like what make like when you start kicking the truth, I don't care on what level. Okay, yeah, I got 40-something thousand subscribers, right? But that's a micro fraction of a voice when it comes down to YouTube, right? But don't get it twisted. Even that micro fraction of a voice counts. It obviously does if they hunting your channels down, talking about you fucking flashing guns during live streams. You get me? Bomba clot. Bomba clot. Appeal rejected. Let's learn a little bit more. Let me see. Appeal approved. Yeah, they changed their motherfucking tune with the Mac Mizzle one. But give me 1 second. Let's get into this, what Candace is saying.
Going on a journey. I left you guys on the ultimate cliffhanger last week. I did not intend to, by the way. I genuinely wanted to get the information out as soon as possible that Tyler Robinson is not suicidal. And I'm going to tell you how I know that. Also, while investigating this assassination, there is a politician's name that keeps coming up. And now he's apparently mad that we keep asking questions. I'm beginning to think that he might know something that he hasn't yet shared. So I wanted to kind of loop you guys into this and see what you think. Welcome back to Candace. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Tyler Robinson didn't kill himself. I mean, these are the phrases that we now use and that we say when we expect that the federal government is telling us a lie.
Let's take a real quick shortcut. Let me just show y'all something. This is for my people on YouTube that aspire to put your voice out there and stuff. Y'all know I'm very transparent, right? And I tell you something, it's facts. It's a fact. Scroll in. Look in there. Go ahead. Look under the hood. We appreciate your patience, right? I heard back from our internal team, right? Now this is September 30th at 7:28 a.m. Our internal team, and here's what they advise: your channel's live streaming ability may be temporarily turned off for various reasons, right? If your account has been restricted from live streaming, you're prohibited from using another channel to live stream on YouTube, right? We don't allow live streams that show someone holding, handling, or transporting a firearm. Channels. Now, the funny thing about this is that I was on my avatar, so there's no way possible. Like right now, you can't see what the fuck I'm doing, right? Channels not in compliance with YouTube's firearm policies will have violative live stream removed and may temporarily lose their ability to live stream. After careful review, we have determined that your channel does not violate our community guidelines in terms of services. Therefore, we reinstated your live stream ability. Okay, for people who said I couldn't go live, I could not go live. See, this is different. This is not just demonetizing my channel, y'all. I want y'all to pay attention. This is not just demonetizing your channel. This is stopping your ability to live stream from any platform. So if you have other platforms and your publishing is connected to each one, that means you're out of here. All right? Your voice matters. Even if you think that it's a small voice, it matters. Sometimes you just got to exercise it. Some of y'all be so caught up in people and what people are doing, you forget about your own self. You know what I'm saying? You got to practice. You got to focus on your star player. You dig? Or you're gonna end up like one of these. Like a lot of y'all don't understand that even sometimes your opinion is criminal. You know, when you speak against the people that take care of you, man. People that go against America, that live in America, is like looking at Bronx niggas that don't like the Yankees. It's weird to me. All right, here's a prison video. Look at your uncle. Your uncle in jail acting like a kitty cat. This is who you are mimicking. I want to be like him. They don't tell you the stories about when they tell you how they was, you know what I'm saying? Gang, gang, gang. They wasn't telling you how they was meow, meow, meow.
Picture waking up every morning in a concrete box barely big enough to hold a twin bed.
All right, stay away from the P now. You know what I mean? Stay away from the P now. Word. All right, let's get back to Candace. They are lying, she said. All right, let's let this ride out. I went live earlier, like I said, from my other channel. I knew they was going to give me a problem over here because, you know, the flags and restrictions, but, you know, I'll be all right in a couple of days.
Last week, I have to tell you, I was contacted by a source.
How YouTube is. It doesn't matter how many subscriptions you got, subscribers, none of that. If you get your channel flagged, they will stop your ability to be seen. It's just that simple. And who's waking up every day thinking about one person? Name your favorite YouTuber that you love. How many times are you waking up and going to type? You're not going to type these people's names. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they do something and YouTube throws it in front of your face, you'll see it, right? It's what we call shadow ban. They'll shadow ban you based off of those flags, all right? But they'll also fix you right back up because I've been shadow banned and I've been, you know, had flag teams hit my channel and all that.
Who
you got to know how to reach out to YouTube.
I vetted with information that answered a lot of the lingering questions that we've had about the investigation. Not all of them, but some of them.
Once they decide based off of IP addresses and attacks that you're being targeted, then you'll be their friend. You know what I'm saying? And they'll pay special attention to you.
Some of the big ones. First and foremost, we were like, how exactly did it work? How did Tyler Robinson,
especially again, if you're a monetized partner,
turn himself in, as we were told, but also never confessed? And did he actually author those absurd Fed messages? Because I'm thinking no. Lastly, what was he doing at Dairy Queen? Doesn't really quite fit into our timeline. Also, don't expect this kid who just tried out being a stone cold killer to really have an appetite. And why exactly did the feds withhold that information at Dairy Queen? And why are they allegedly stalking the Dairy Queen to see who comes in and out? Well, we have the story that could potentially answer all of those questions. And it certainly makes a lot more sense than the slop that the government is currently trying to feed us. First and foremost, Tyler Robinson has never confessed. They acknowledge that he has never confessed to this crime, and he still is pleading innocence on the shooting. In fact, I was told that he was, quote unquote, bewildered by the idea that he carved casings. I should be clear, he does not dispute the fact that it is his gun at all. It is his gun. But Tyler is not exactly a gun enthusiast. He doesn't hunt like his other brothers do. In fact, he's apparently a fisherman. The reason that he has that gun in the first place is because it is, in fact, a custom-made family heirloom. Tyler is the firstborn son, so he inherited. That's what firstborns do. They get the family heirloom. That is why he has the gun. As many of you guys have noted, the Robinson family appear to be conservative, hence the hunting and the fishing as the sports of their choosing. I am told that they are fans of Charlie Kirk and they are fans of Donald Trump, although this source noted that Tyler, like many other conservatives have expressed, wished that Trump would sometimes tone down his speech and his rhetoric. Now, on the topic of rhetoric, I am told that Tyler absolutely did not author those text messages. What text messages? He has no idea where these messages came from, believes that they are therefore entirely fictionalized. It turns out, you're going to be shocked, that he doesn't actually use words like vehicle, which should come as no surprise to anyone that has a brain. By the way, I'm sure you caught this, but there's old footage of Tyler Robinson that is now circulating from a car accident that he had. And during the discussion with the officer that showed up, Tyler certainly refers to it as his car, not his vehicle.
And we seen that video. I'm the first one to show it to y'all.
Because that's how most Americans, how most English speakers refer to a car, unless they're in the military or on the police force. So here is 2022 police body cam footage, in case you missed that, of Tyler making a crash report. Take a listen.
Your mom's on her way? Yeah, she's gonna be a minute. She's got to shuttle over from where she's at to her car and then drive over. Gotcha.
His mother was going to shuttle over from her car? Interesting. There's more, of course. Of most interest to me, what I've learned is that his father...
I think we all know that Tyler is the fall guy.
Does not believe, his parents don't believe that their son committed this crime. I was like, huh?
Yet the parents is the one that turned him in. This is crazy.
Huh? Excuse me? That's a far cry from what the media has been telling us. Remember, the media presented this amazing story. The father realized his son was guilty, so it goes, right? And then he phoned over a friend to help him convince his son to turn himself in, because this guy, you know, this mysterious guy was a friend, and just...
Why they act like we stupid, like we don't remember that story you told us just last week?
Had a connection with Tyler, and eventually they said, you got to do the right thing here. We know this is you. That was the vibe. Certainly, that's what the media was putting down for us to pick up. Well, I was told actually that it was kind of the opposite. That quote unquote family friend, who we learned was a former detective with the police force, at least, and so therefore has strong ties with the police station, informed the family. It was that in-between person that informed the family that Tyler had been identified as the shooter. He recognized him. He knows Tyler. He gives them the heads up. And then I'm told, and I believe this, that the way in which he got arrested, or rather turned himself in, was because that family friend / neighbor / former detective told him, hey, it's best for you to turn yourself in because there's only one of two options here. Either you turn yourself in and everything is peaceable, or, you know, the SWAT team could come in here and arrest you and things would get crazy. So,
I mean, the videos I seen of him, they look like they got him extremely doped up. You know what I mean? I gotta get off of this, man. I'm gonna get with y'all tonight. You know what I'm saying? In the sector. I won't see y'all on live until probably tomorrow. You know what I mean? I gotta get this channel together, man. They obviously hunting it down. You know what I'm saying? You know, keep your head low, eyes up, salute. I'm out.